Welcome to the Zero Substance Podcast. Long little layoff, but we're back. January 2nd. It's a whole new year. Same me though. I mean, you get the same Joey at this point. Once you turn 30, it's a lot of, similarities. I don't think you really, change too much from there. Change is kind of scary after 30, if you ask me. But let's get right into it. I mean, first things first. The boys top of the league right now. Um, did I predict this? Not at all. Not even close. I mean, we're stuck in a rebuild. I'm talking about Liverpool, the boys. So I didn't predict this. I didn't see this coming. Where you got stuck in a rebuild, where we had a great generation, and it just kind of wore out a little bit. And last year was just the start of that rebuild, and we struggled. I mean, obviously Europa, and a lot of tough times. There was that 1 month, 2 months where you just kind of wanted it to end, and you were, as Liverpool fans. I mean, honestly, it was tough. It was tough because you were just kind of accustomed to a team that under Jurgen Klopp plays proper football, and you kind of saw it wore down. You were I didn't question it, but certain people were almost questioning if, is the identity gone? Can you fix this? Do they need a new voice? Is it time? The whole year 7 club. This is when he leaves. This is when his teams end and stuff like that. It did get scary. At one point, I mean, I was just kind of starting to believe that hype. But thankfully, he stuck around and they just gave him a shot. And here we are, about a year later, because I think that rough spell was exactly like a year ago. That first, I think it was December and January last year, Liverpool was in a tough place. I absolutely get demolished at Brighton. I think it was FA Cup. Honestly, just a good old proper butt spanking. And like I said, those were tough times. Now, looking forward here, 2024, Liverpool top of the league, where City's coming. I mean, I've said it. City always kind of just does this. They're like that sprinter that kind of just 75%s it and then just gasses it up at the end, turns it up a notch, and they're coming. But the boys, honestly, if I'm being honest, I feel like as if the boys 6 ties, where four of those ties easily they could have won. Um, and these are the challenge things with the Prem, though. A lot of good teams right now. I mean, Fulham beats Arsenal, and it's just everywhere you look on that schedule, you feel good about a win, and next thing you know, you're just 1-1 minute 84, and it's not where you want to be, but that's just the Premier League for you. In a way, like I said, I'm gonna keep talking about that place because it's just such an experience. I don't know if anyone's seen a Luton Town game yet, but a Luton Town home game. Let me tell you something. That's football. That's what the football gods wanted when they started this whole thing. A couple days ago, and in general, just like I said, like from a Liverpool fan standpoint, top of the league to start the year. The rebuild, I don't want to say complete yet. Obviously some of the better players, I mean, the leaders on the team are a little older, where you got Mo, Ali Bex, and the skip, Virgil, a little older. So the rebuild, like I said, is still, it's obviously, we got 2-3 years of those guys. I mean, probably not Mo. Saudis call it. But 2-3 years maybe of like AB1, Virgil van Dijk. Even though Joey Gomez feels old, the kid's only like 26 years old, 27. It feels like it's been forever with him. But my tip, this is last year. Unfortunate, goes down with an ACL. And unfortunate way to go. I mean, at one point, him and Virgil, that pairing was just special to watch. I mean, both really great in the air, won everything in the air. Played a brilliant offsides trap, And it's like I said, all good things must come to an end. But the Matip Van Dyke era was just special to me, and you could tell Club, uh, he forces teams to go long ball on them, and he just likes aerial center backs where Kunate is, Matip 2.0, a little more physical, a little more, a little more physical, a little more athletic than Matip, but some similarities. And it's just it's a certain style for sure, because a lot of people, they know how to play out in the back, but it's just more physical, athletic center backs. I feel like that's what Club likes. This team hasn't had their starting left back in about 2 months already, and somehow they've been surviving. It's a deep team. Trent's playing unbelievable. Trent, I mean, for those few, those. I literally said Trent's hair was kind of holding him back a little bit. Now that he got the haircut, Trent looks like Trent again. Again, I've always defended him because perfect word, to say defend him, because obviously, the defending was a big issue last year more than in recent years. The defending was a big problem, but all you need is one of those passes that he brings and provides for the team. That's it. One of those honestly X's out the bad defending, but he does this multiple times in a game where offensively it's just too much. Offensively, and that's why I always defended him. Offensively, this guy is probably one of the best quarterbacks in football. 100%, dude. This dude on a gamely basis probably gives out literally five to seven world class passes. Trent led. And here we are, like, just focusing on the bad. That's what that's the one little problem with society. We only want to focus on the bad. We only want to see the bad. But there's so much good there with Trent. The midfield signings, Soboslai, honestly, I didn't know much about the kid before. But honestly, work rates just fits perfect with this Liverpool style. I'm not going to go baby Stevie G. I'm not going to go there. That's not where I'm at with this kid. And that's just too much pressure, obviously. And I get it, Twitter, toxic, or X now, toxic community. Toxic community, we start the craziest. I mean, literally some of the things that we start on Twitter, it's just unfortunate because the kid, first year in, already Stevie G, and I get it. He wears the 8, and like I said, let's just chill a little bit. Let's let the guy, fully develop, fully learn the system. But work rate's there, effort's there, drives that ball like Trent. Both of those guys on that right side, I mean, be careful because they both drive that ball. They both could, score long distance goals, big time crosses, big time runs, nonstop. Ali Mack got hobbled, missed about 3 games. He's back. That guy, spatial awareness is out of this world. Alexis McAllister, spatial awareness, top 3 in the world, honestly. And it's just crazy how he gets himself. His first touch, your first touch is everything. And Alexis McAllister, first touch, simply just beautiful. First touch is already setting up his pass. And the way this guy sees passes is honestly special. I didn't see this coming. And I mean, I knew it was a good signing, but the guys had to play 6 this whole season. And he's stepped up and done fairly well. If I'm being completely, biased, as I usually am, Alexis McAllister, give me him any day of the week. Those 2 guys, that 2 signing, that's where you get, that's, if you're rebuilding, you have to get it right. And with those 2 guys, I mean, honestly, and it's just been, half a season. And I pray right now, fingers crossed that Joey Curse doesn't do anything about this. But Soboslai and McAllister and that Liverpool red, I can't, I'm just excited for it. I can't really put it into words. But dude, that engine, those work rates in our midfield for the next 3-5 years, I'm excited about it. Endo, perfect quick fix. Obviously that's also temporary. That's where I'm telling you, like the rebuild, a proper six to this team. It's a rebuild, but you got Curtis, Harvey Elliott. You got Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, two guys that honestly, young guys and fit in. I mean, probably start for like at least 7 to 10 Premier teams, like easily. Get on anyone's roster, and not obviously roster, but I mean like in the starting 11. And Curtis yesterday peaked. Curtis Jones peaked yesterday to where I was like, I've been hard on the guy. He's a scouser. I shouldn't. I mean, this guy is born bred in Liverpool, but it always felt like I could see a little more. But yesterday was peak Curtis Jones. I mean, counter pressing, silky smooth on the ball in a rainy, greasy field. Curtis Jones honestly played just as good as anybody out there yesterday, and honestly, he makes it to where you almost start Ali Mack, Soboslai, and Curtis Jones, and that is probably the best three center midfield option for Liverpool right now at this point. You go get a six, and be careful. This team's already, I mean, like in a great place. Kwanzaa, backup center back. Maybe get a left back just in case, or because the Joey G left back, right back, he's well rounded, but it's scary to me at times. Where I rather almost him be a backup center back. I like him at center back, but like I said, the dude steps up, plays anywhere, and it's good to have guys like that on your team. Where Joey G now can play anywhere on that back line, left back, center back, right back. And, those are key things. When people go down, you have to have a guy on the roster like that can do everything, a little bit of everything. Not at a super elite level, but, could step up and just kind of be somewhat decent. Endo, that's Endo. That's Endo to me, just well-rounded, just efforts there. Big thing is like, all right, you're not good, at least try hard, dude. That's Endo, 100%. And the front three, like I said, there's good switchability. I mean, like I said, championship year. I keep saying like I said. I'm a little rusty, guys. Championship year, you go Bobby, Mo, Sadio. 95% of the time. 95% of the time, you have the same front three, which is good, but it's unrealistic to believe someone can maintain that for, over the course of a whole season, especially a Premier League season where these guys are playing, two domestics, European, and the league itself. And it's just like unrealistic to start a front three for that many times. Where now you got, Jota, Cody, and even Darwin could go left wing. Those are three guys that could play striker and left wing. And, obviously Mo's the one that probably plays the most and the one most consistent starter, as he should be. But even then, you throw Harvey in there. And this is where Liverpool, honestly, what club's done really good this year, the biggest thing I would think for like their success so far this year, is the fact that he makes 4 or 5 subs every single game, and they give you something. They don't drop you. There was a time about like a year or 2 years ago when these guys were a little younger, and it just felt like, okay, we're getting nothing. Like, these guys are on, and we're getting nothing from these guys. Like, unfortunately, Harvey was just a little younger. We've been patient with Harvey. We got him really young. The dude was like 17. He was a wonder boy at one point. Now, realistic, reality checked in a little bit, but solid. Comes in and is just rock solid, Gravenberch. Like I said, the depth on this team is pretty special. And one thing, I'm going to move on. I know this is a lot of Liverpool. It's just, I'm in a good place with the boys right now. Let me, even when we were struggling last year, I came on. That's a big thing about me. Good times, bad times, same Jovi. Moral of the story, same me. So Liverpool, like I said, this year, a lot more depth and just fun to watch again. My biggest thing with this whole club era, And the one thing is like, you don't have to like Liverpool, but watching Liverpool is just special to me because it's entertainment. Like, the entertainment wise, Liverpool is as good as it gets in soccer. Their games, front foot all day, and they let teams attack them. You know what I'm saying? You're up 2-0, same old boys. They're attacking. They're high pressing. They leave gaps to get countered, which isn't exciting as a fan because it's nerve wracking at times. But it's good TV. It's good television. That's the boys. Where you got Pep and Man City, dude, they get like a 2-goal lead, bro, and they're gonna boa construct you to death. They're gonna choke you out, 90 to 10 possess you, which is cute, and I understand, but it's just not me. It's not my cup of tea. I just don't like that. It's like it's a ugly bullying method. Like, they just possess you. They'll have like 600 passes in like 20 minutes on you, and it's just not my style. It's not my cup of tea. But like I said, they're coming. I mean, KDB healthy stole Frankie De Jong's haircut. He did. He stole his hairstyle. But that man looks ready. And City, this is what I'm gonna give it to you. This is what I'm gonna give them. This is a team that where, like, if you had to argue who's their most important player, KDB makes that discussion, and they survived. They survived. I mean, it got a little rough to their standard for a few weeks or whatever, but they survived no KDB for literally 2 months, 3 months, and now KDB's back. Haaland's back. You got Juju Alvarez, who learned a whole new position, and you got Foden finally, being who he should be. Where you see this guy, first touch, come on. Foden in pockets, first touch. Again, one of those other guys. The little guys have good center of gravity. If there's one thing for sure that little guys have good center of gravity. These guys turn into space like nobody other. Ali Mack, Foden, the little guy that plays on Inter Miami. The way they receive and turn into space with center of gravity with so much force, it's hard to deal with. It's a problem to deal with. And Foden right now, when Foden is at his peak, it's beautiful to watch. It's special to watch. And then you got guys like, dude, the center back options on Manchester City is such a flex, man. It's like, dude, you got Ake, Akanji, Ruben, Joseph, and they're developing. Even like their little academy guys they bring in, it's just like they're good too. It's just Kyle Walker, Robot Walker, dude. You bring him in this guy. Robot Walker is as solid football player as anyone on the planet right now. He's one of the only guys. You can put that guy on Mbappe, and that's the only one where you don't feel like you could somewhat feel comfortable not doubling. He's 33 years old, 34. He's older. I don't even. He plays like he's 28 though. Robot Walker, and like I'm saying, that back line, dude, is just such a flex. I didn't even mention John Stones. I almost forgot about Johnny Bones, and that's just the biggest flex in soccer. It's just Man City's center back depth. Offensively, like I said, Calvin Phillips. They're gonna let him walk. He didn't fit Pep. This guy started a European final, dude. Pep said no. Like, he's just poor Calvin Phillips. Pep turned Calvin Phillips into a practices example player. Like, he's the walkthrough of what the other team's gonna do. That's what Pep turned Calvin Phillips into. And I get it. I mean, excellence isn't easy. And that's the Man City way. Excellence. And it's just like, they're coming. I know they're coming. And like I said, I mean, the biggest thing is, let's push these boys to the end. And that's all I want. And right now I'm a little worried about Arsenal. Yeah, that was too much City. I mean, a lot of Liverpool, maybe a little bit City, but I'm a biased guy. Again, I'll repeat that again. Say me, same bias. Uh, Arsenal, I don't think they're in a bad place. Obviously, these teams were like, um, obviously scouting reports leak and stuff like that. Where I think this team right now, the Arteta, you have to sacrifice to. I think the whole Havertz experience is like a sacrifice right now, so you can strive later. And you lost a little bit of Martin trying to install Kai. That's my big thing with Arsenal. You lost a little bit of Udigard because you're trying to install Kai. When it works, though, I've seen it work a few times where who was it? I think it was a Champions League game, PSV. They dropped like 4 in the first half. When that thing is cooking, be careful for it. I saw it, and honestly, even then, to me, not an Arsenal fan here, so I mean, probably a bad take. But to me, go get that Champions League. Yes, the Premier League. You're gonna compete Premier League next 5 years. That Champions League right now, whenever you get a chance, whenever you realistically can get a champ, go get it. Go get that Champions. It was like that Chelsea Champions League. Honestly, Chelsea, they've had their ups and downs, but that Champions League kind of just, it's still their little flex. They could still, sit on that Champions League and say, we won the Champions League, 3 years ago? And that's where Arsenal, I think, I would invest more into that Champions League. But that's just me. Obviously, like I said, if it's a bad take, it's a bad take. But Arsenal, go get that Champions League. I feel good about you guys going to get that Champions League over the course of 2 games. And this is where like footy's in such a weird place, where the most dangerous team is the team that doesn't have the ball. The team that, like, now everyone's just waiting for you to make a mistake and catch you slipping and transition with pace and power and try to, get you on the counter. Like, the most dangerous time to me now is like a corner kick. The most dangerous time where you're exposed is a corner kick, where that should feel like, okay, that's a situation where I might be able to score a goal. Yeah, be careful. Don't ruin this, because they're going to leak out and they're going to maybe score on you. And that's where it's like, footy's in such a weird place. But I think Arsenal in the Premier League, for most situations, they have the ball. And when they have the ball, a lot of these teams, like I said, are just sitting back waiting to pounce on you. In the Champions League, they could be the pouncers. And that's where I like Arsenal. Like, and sometimes you gotta humble yourself. This is one of my new sayings. When you play to win, sometimes you lose. When you play to lose, sometimes you win. And that's the big thing. That's just kind of the whole thing where, like, okay, sometimes you got to humble yourself and you got to defend. You got to be the defender. You got to be the more defensive-minded team. And it might help you actually win. Where sometimes if you're too aggressive, too front foot, it can go, it can come back and bite you. But there's got to be balances. The principles got to be the principles. But that's where I like Arsenal in the Champions League, where they're going to, they're going to go up against, hopefully not a Man City. Like I said, anyone in the Champions League, avoid Man City till the finals. You only got a chance in the finals to get those boys. You're not going to beat them over the course of 2 games. Man City and Pep, it's Pep FC. Like, I don't even consider Man City no more like Manchester. It's just Pep FC. Pep FC, you got a chance in the final. This is where Pep FC is right now. You got a chance in a final against them. More than over the course of 2. In all honesty. And I think the bookmakers will back me on this one. Man City, over the course of 2 games, are probably minus 300, minus 500 favorites any series they're in this Champions League. It's just over the course of 2 games. And one game, you can maybe bring that down to like minus 150. But let's put that in percentages, because a lot of people don't know the betting lingo yet. They have a 75 to 80% chance of winning any series, as opposed to a final where it gets to like almost 40%. It's double. 20% chance you could beat them in a series, and in a final, you got like a 40% chance at best, though. Okay, that number is probably 15 to 30% being realistic, and that's insane. That's insane. There's teams on a three-peat that probably didn't even have those odds. Ronaldo's Vardreed probably didn't even have those odds over the course of 2 games, and that's where Pep FC is just on a whole nother wavelength than some of these teams, and it's unfortunate because they kind of did a baby rebuild, but like, come on, their baby rebuild was just kind of like the rich get richer, and it's just like they are kind of transitioning, but it's kind of scary then because that means they're gonna get someone else, and it's just like a little bit of the guys gotten a little bit old, and Pep FC's been the guy. He's not scared to get rid of anybody, anything. He doesn't care. He's gotten rid of A-tier talent, and it's been the right decision most of the time. So I'll give him that. I mean, he changed the Lamborghini for a Ferrari, but it was a good decision at the time, at the moment. The Ferrari was more beneficial to the team, and like I said, going into this Champions League, here it goes. I mean, over under, like I said, probably 65 times. Going into the home stretch, I like to call it. I mean, second half of the season, because that's where we're at. This is the big thing. This is halfway mark of the soccer season, and this is when Pep FC turns it up. So it's like in the Prem, you got the few guys that get challenge them. Aston Villa, they deserve their own segment. Give me a second, a little bit. I'm gonna talk about those boys. But Pep FC, like I said, the big thing right now is their world. We're just living in it. But in the Champions League, avoid those boys till the final. That's my big thing here. Bayern. So yeah, Bayern, Real Madrid, Barcelona. Avoid these boys. But I will say this. Arsenal has the best chance out of all those teams to beat City in the 2 games. They're equipped for that. They really are. And you might say no. Real Madrid has a chance. No. Arsenal has the best chance to beat Manchester City over the course of 2 games. Yes, we give bad takes here sometimes, but I stand by that one. I'll live or die by that one. And I really hope so, because I mean, honestly, dude, another trouble for City. I mean, Pep FC. It's just draining. It's just like, because he's only gonna get better. Like, they already got the Argentine wonder boy from the Olympics, or I mean the sub 17 or 21, whatever. They got another good signing, underrated, literally perfect. Like, as far as like execution wise, where they got somebody at a young age for a fair price, a la Pep FC. And I mean, all right, so hopefully, this really hurts me. This really hurts me, obviously, because it's like I'm high off that Liverpool first place. I'm high off that right now. I'm high off the Liverpool first place pack, but I know doomsday is coming, and I know it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a big boy. I mean, you get used to these things. You learn to understand things as you grow up. As New Year, New Me happens, you start understanding things. And I'm just happy that Liverpool is, that team again, where fun to watch. We almost became unfun to watch for a little bit. You know how stressful that was? Like, unfun to watch Liverpool like that in this universe. That happened for a little bit. Dude, those days were dark. Those were Black Spider-Man days. Every single one of those was Black Spider-Man days where Liverpool was just not fun to watch anymore. Like, no, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the universe that I know. And the universe is back to normal, where Liverpool's at least fun to watch, exciting to watch, and that's what I want. I want games that are gonna take me to 100 BPMs. I'm toxic. That's what I like. That's what I enjoy, though. Give me some of those games back again where it's like 1-1, minute 84, anything's possible. Both teams are attacking. That's what I like. And Arsenal provides that, Liverpool provides that, and Aston Villa provides that. Aston Villa deserves a segment over Man U, over Chelsea, over Tottenham. Even honestly, Brighton might deserve a segment over those guys too. But Aston Villa, Unai Emery, is the best job right now. Besides the Colts coach, Indianapolis Colts, Unai Emery, right there. And that's crazy because I mean, this is a good team. They invested money. That Jack money, was perfect for them. They did really good with the Jack money, the Jack Grealish money. Uh, Emiliano Martinez, I'll say this over and over again, the best goalie at just kind of managing the game and just kind of most showing personality. Emiliano Martinez by far. Defensively, this is a really physical team. I mean, honestly, that Man U loss, hurts a little bit because it's just like, where did that come from? Up 2-0. And and in this Premier League, in this Pep FC league, you have to, you can't lose a 2-0 lead, man, especially to a team that's just down because guess what? Man United could take that and run. Obviously they lose to Forest. And that's the big thing with Man United. It's just like, dude, play to lose so you can win. Don't play to win because you're going to lose. That's for sure. Man United, they have to take that advice for sure. Villa, like I said, Bailey was part of the Jack Grealish deal. The money. Ollie Watkins is a proper striker. Hopefully they don't take him away from him, like from Villa. But a proper striker. I always liked the guy. Really good finding space and clinical finisher. They got the Diaby in the midfield, rock solid again too. Douglas Luiz, be careful. He's on everyone's radar. Just a proper center mid. And McGinn. Give me McGinn. Any day of the week. Those are those guys that first team all scrap. Could literally, like just win you a game by just effort. It's so hard to like maintain a press over the course of 90. I've seen, this is, I'm a little bit everywhere, but I've seen Uruguay do that and it almost feels unrealistic. But John McGinn, this Villa team is one of those teams that honestly can press you for over the course of 90 minutes, can just defensively get after it, and those teams are scary. Those teams always will have my respect. Anyone that could press you over the course of 90 minutes, you have my respect. Like, that's not easy to do. And if you're doing that, honestly, you want it. And I'm okay with, respecting that. I'm okay respecting that. And that's where Villa is right now, where very hard to outwork that team. They're not going to beat themselves. Very cliche analysts right now, but Villa for sure. If you got time and, one of your, obviously, you're going to watch Villa, Arsenal, Villa, Chelsea, Villa, Man U, Villa, Liverpool, Villa City. But watch a Villa Brighton. Honestly, if you're going to want to become a football fan, watch a Villa Brighton. And that's where it's like the Premier League to me is just special, where you got teams like that, like a Villa Brentford. That's a great game. A great game. And I got a La Liga guy. And I don't watch La Liga, but I know a La Liga guy. And I mean, we'll try to, expand the horizon a little bit, but we'll see. And as far as though, like where we're heading, the way we're trending, we got a good season on our hand. I mean, the Champions League, I think, hopefully is going to be pretty tight, and I think the Premier League is going to be even tighter. Honestly excited. Man U, Chelsea, Tottenham. I'm not going to have enough time to talk about these boys today, but it's like Tottenham's a good team. Tottenham honestly plays the right way. Great coaching. It's just too many little mistakes. And you can't do that in the Prem. And just a little bit, a team that honestly is in their rebuild. This is that 1 year rebuild. They came out the gates hot and don't have European football. I really hope, though, that Tottenham finishes at least top 6. I mean, they deserve that. They deserve some kind of European football. Like, this is a team that should be in European football no matter what, somehow. And one of these teams is going to miss out again. And that's where it's like, That's good though, where you have top sixes. Honestly, having top six is special, right? Because a lot of people have top twos, top threes, top fours. But having a top six is special. But now the top six is, kind of slowly becoming like a top eight. And that's where it's like, okay, Prem over anybody. And Chelsea is stuck in that rebuild. Man U is, kind of in a rebuild, I guess. But you see it though. It's crazy. You give some of these younger guys some game time, and they provide more than these more experienced veterans who are a little more entitled. I would almost move off of Rashford. It sucks to admit this because logistically, if you're a good proper GM, you move off of Rashford. You're gonna get great money for him, and he just looks toxic. He looks very toxic, Marcus Rashford. And you know what? Here goes. This is how we transition here. This is how a sports mind works. You move off of toxic Rashford and you move off of toxic Zach LaVine. It's insane to me that this same roster with Zach LaVine, without Zach LaVine, is doing better. And it's like, okay, yeah, like maybe, the adjustments, the coaching. No, dude, it was literally Zach LaVine holding this team back, where you see the potential in Zach. You see Zach's a good player, dude. Zach, athletically, Zach's always been special, man. Dude's won, 2 dunk contests. Maybe, was it 3? 2. Super athlete, jumps out of the building, had an ACL, slowed him down a little, but the dude is athletic. The dude can score with the best of them. This guy, realistically, has odds to score 30, 35. That's a handful. That's to be on FanDuel at the 35 point club. That's a special, you know what I'm saying? That's a special something. That's not for everybody. To even be like, I think he's been in the 40 point club a few times. And it's just like, measuring someone like that is like, yeah, all right, that's a little bogus of me. Hand up. But that's a special elite club. Not everyone realistically has odds to score 35 points on a given night. Zach's one of those guys. But you can't impact winning, bro. It's like, there's no way someone like Alex Caruso impacts winning more than you, Zach. Like, Debo just looks good in this, and it is a little unfair because Debo and Zach, very similar styles, and you get stuck between, both of them are twos trying to play 2 and 3, and it's just like, okay, very similar styles. Both of them don't want to catch and shoot. Neither one of those guys wants to catch and shoot. And that's where I get, where maybe Zach's the odd man out because Debo in the mid-range, Debo's ISO is more dangerous than Zach's ISO. It is what it is. Zach didn't work on his left hand. Zach struggles to get it. It feels a little forced. It's like he gets a lot of the shots off because he's a super athlete, but it just looks a little forced. Like him in the mid range, him in the ISO. His decision making isn't as good as Debo. It is what it is right now. Debo in the mid range is more effective than Zach. Running a set through Debo is more dangerous than running one through Zach. Should it be that way? Hell no. It is though. And it's just like, all right, you gotta jump off that. You gotta get off that now, because you see it. It's like, send him somewhere, where he's gonna learn a role or somewhere, or good coaching. He needs good coaching, and it's not no knock on Billy, but it's just unfortunately, Billy hasn't been able to set a culture here with his Bulls and establish something, and that's where get Zach somewhere that's more established, where he doesn't have that feeling of I have to be the guy right now. That's what it is with the Bulls. They don't have a culture, so he finds he makes it unnecessary. He makes it to the point where it's forced, the responsibilities, where it's not clear. It's he feels a certain obligation that's not even necessarily there at times. And that's how I feel about Zach. And good thing though, it unleashed Kobe White. There's some of these guys, bro, we were burying. I was burying Kobe White. I was burying Patrick Williams. And they're finally kind of just coming out to the light a little bit. Kobe White is always a good player. I mean, did I see him being a solidified starter in this? I mean, no. But now it's like, you know what? It's there. The height's there. Defensively, I mean, I still think he's a little bit of a liability, but the scoring's there. The playmaking's there. It's his stock is probably one of the best improved. He might be top 10, top 15 in the most. You know what? In that top 15 most improved. I'm not gonna put a number on it because but he's a top 15 most improved player. Kobe White, and honestly, that's what you can ask for him, right? Like you drop the first on him and top 15. That's what you can ask from someone like Kobe. Patrick Williams was a top 5 pick. That's where there's like a little more like, okay, Patrick. I mean, because even then I see. To me, Kobe's stock has for sure increased more than Patrick Williams' stock, and it's like Patrick. You see, like you get the eye test on Patrick Williams working out, and you're just like, you definitely don't feel that way. You definitely probably feel like, okay, we got something special here in Patrick Williams, which is like kudos to the Bulls for not rushing that. Like where I feel like the Bulls rushed Wendell Carter, Lauri Markkanen, but it's just also too where like you have to become a situation where you have an established culture and you know what you want to do. And that's the biggest problem, I would say, with the Bulls. They don't have an established culture, and they don't know what they want to do. And that's where, like, Zach, send him somewhere then. Send him somewhere where he might, be somewhere where someone has a role for him. Someone has something, like, so they're going to sit him down and, like, hey, kid, this is what we want you to do, and that's it. Don't get an unrealistic feel for you needing to be that guy. You could be that guy, but don't force it. And that's what happened with the whole Zach and Chicago Bulls era. It's like he felt it was like Jimmy Butler, right? He came in for Jimmy Butler, and I get the kid. I mean, he's like, well, I need to replace those shoes. And those were kind of hard shoes to fill because Jimmy Butler, underrated superstar. Like he doesn't play superstar nightly basis, but that one game you need him to, he'll do it. He knows when. See, he knows his switch, and that's the thing with Zach. It's like Zach's gonna force himself into crazy jumpers, or he's just a little more forced. He's a little more force minded. Even then, sometimes he just loses his head. He'll attack the basket, and it just feels forced, rushed. It's just like they need someone to slow them down for him, get him hard in the system, run like some like actual sets for him, like get him scoring off like some slashes. And a lot of times body language off the ball and this with the Bulls has been bad for Zach. And that's all we can ask for. All right, let's move on. This is too much bashing the Bulls, and I just don't like it. So breaking news, officially leaking this, we're finally gonna get some news on Draymond. Where Draymond, suspended indefinitely, and then we just forgot about him for like 3 weeks. They haven't said one single thing on Draymond for 3 weeks, which is insane. It's like, okay, I get it indefinitely, but like any update, bro? It's been almost a month. We'll get an update soon on Draymond. And this is crazy. We really got to talk about this one. So Draymond, obviously, dude, like, the emotional leader for a team, has won championships. And it's like, this is like what we're complaining about. Like, I feel like the Draymond stuck in the new era, the new world, the new age, being an old era guy, an old age guy. And it's like, yeah, don't choke someone, don't punch someone. But people were doing that back in the day, and it was cool, Maybe more people should be like Draymond. I'm stuck in between. Like, should people more be like Draymond, or like, is this just bad? Is this guy just a psychopath? And that's like really where we're at, right? Like, is he a psychopath, or is he just literally just a bunch of fuel, a bunch of fire? And now it's like, what are we gonna do with Draymond? Like, you can't kick him out the league, but a soft Draymond just doesn't make sense to me, I don't think Draymond's gonna come in here into like the NBA. I don't think Draymond's gonna come back a nice guy. That would be weird, you know? Like you would have to clone someone. I don't think it's in him. I don't think it's in Draymond to come back just a nice guy. Like imagine just all hugs Draymond. No thanks. I'm good on that. And that's where it looks like it's gonna transition to, like where it's like, what are you gonna do? Send him to therapy to become a nice guy? Nice guys get ate alive. It's crazy because everyone wants you to be a nice guy now, and nice guys just get ate alive. So it's like this is a perfect situation where we're stuck in like let Draymond be Draymond for the sake of humanity. Like we need Draymond to be Draymond so humanity can just be how it's supposed to be. And this is where they're trying to get you, dude. Trust me. They're trying like this is by the NBA. This is a woke movement to teach people to be nice guys again, or to just keep pushing this whole nice guys thing. That's what they're doing to Draymond. Draymond's the scapegoat right now. It's a little conspiracy by me, but just think about it. Actually sit down and think about it. Who cares, dude? He choked Rudy Gobert. All right, a little quick. Back in my day, dude, it was just quick apology, and then you got over it, and then you're back out there. Now, dude, you got to get suspended indefinitely, this and that. And it's like, it's okay. Like that. I mean, I get it, though. Because you're a winner. And Draymond's a sore winner sometimes. He did brag in people's faces. He did say a lot of things. And now look that, he's had a little bit of a tougher time. He's kind of a sore loser. But even then, it's like, it's passion, dude. Passion. Let's not get rid of passion. Let's not kill passion. Because we need that. It's good. It's good for the NBA for me overall. I'm still a Draymond guy. Conclusion here is I'm still a Draymond guy. And I want Draymond to be Draymond. Please don't give me a nice guy Draymond. Yes, Draymond, take it easy on your bulliness, your toughness. Maybe just go bring it back to like a push. Just be a push guy now instead of like a choke guy. But don't completely make this guy, like a clone. Force this guy to just be a softie either, okay? That's where I'm at right now. Still team Draymond, obviously the tires run too high. The ties run too long, we've been homies for too long already. Like it's just inevitable. Like I have to support Draymond. I still do. I just do. And I mean, like I said, more guys should have this much passion. And then I'm so good at these transitions. Ja Morant. It's like it's kind of the same thing going on, but Ja's is more like, okay, you're being a fucking kid sometimes. The first bad word, I apologize for cursing. I mean, the thing where like Draymond has passion, and then it's like, and I feel like, okay, that's just like whatever. Like, but this Ja Morant dude, I don't think this kid realizes how special he is. He just doesn't. He's too outside noise was always gonna beat this kid, and that's tough, man. Cause it's like you see what he does to his team. Top 5 most exciting guys to watch in the NBA. It's easy. That's like an easy call. And this dude just doesn't want to give it up, man. Give it up, man. It's like you have to, bro. For sure, new year, new me. That has to be Ja. And he's not gonna do it, dude. And it's just like you have all the people, and then it's the problem. And it sucks. You know what else is a problem going in 30? You're stuck in between generations, dude. There's nothing worse than being stuck between generations. Like, dude, I got to figure out. I'm either old man or I'm still a kid. Like, I got to figure it out. Because being stuck between generations completely sucks. Because part of me is like the old head now. Like, okay, like, get this kid out of here. And then there's the kids that are like, nah, let him be young and wild and free. So it's just like, oh, man. I'm kind of stuck in between the middle of that. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But it's like, with Ja, it's like, you got to realize what you mean to this basketball team, man. Like, you see it, Desmond Bane grew up right before your eyes. Like, he's ready to go, bro. He's ready to be your Robin. And Triple J is also like a Robin, you know what I'm saying? But even like Desmond, I don't think people understand how good Desmond Bane is at scoring. Desmond Bane put that thing in the net, bro. And it's like that's a big 3. Like realistically, it's a big 3. In today's NBA, or just stat wise, that's a big three, dude. You got a big three, and you're over here still kind of worried about outside noise. And I see it, dude. I see it. Those little celebrations, it's like, okay, you like pushing the envelope, bro. You like it. I know you enjoy it. Like you got yourself in trouble in detention. Like, don't be the guy that, like, in detention still gets yourself in trouble. Like, detention is meant for you to understand, like, okay, dude, like, I can't be just doing all this stuff, you know? Like, this dude was in detention and still got in trouble inside of detention. Like, there was always that kid growing up in, like, high school that even in detention, like, he wanted to, like, push the envelope and, get outside of detention, go to, like, wherever those little, like, I forgot what it was called over here by us, but like go to those programs outside of where you had to go to a different school, dude. This dude wanted to go to the different school. That's who Ja is. This guy wanted to get in trouble at detention. It's like, dude, most reasonable people go to detention and say, you know what, this isn't for me, bro. But not Ja Morant. He wants to take it to another level. It's like, bro, get out of detention, go help your team, bro. You know what I'm saying? Your team needs you. Get out of detention already, dude. Stop trying to push it. Stop trying to push it to the next. Stop trying to go to that school, the bad school, dude. Okay? You're fine where you're at, dude. And that's where Ja's at right now. That's like, he loves pushing it, bro. Like, you see it. Like, this kid, I don't know, man. I'm worried. I'm a little worried for this guy. I don't think he's going to learn, man. And I really hope he does, though. I really hope he does. But I'm going to put like a 40% chance he fucks up again. Second bad word, I gotta stop. It's just the Ja in me. The Ja, you were talking about Ja, and it's just like literally corrupting my mind. You see, he's not a good role model. He's not a good example. He corrupts your mind, dude. And it's like going, like, being face of the league and stuff like that. You can't, like, do you want to? Do you, like, you think LeBron doesn't want to just be a rebel every so often? Yeah, but you can't, dude. You're a face of a league, bro. You got business, you got to stand on business. But no, dude. You want to be a rebel. It's like, stop, dude. I think LeBron literally just go home and probably says a million curse words. He probably does that. He does. He goes home, locks himself in a room and curses and says bad things. Probably, put some NBA young boy and just do that in your closet. Like, if you need to unleash a little bit, just go, do that at home behind closed doors every so often. But when the cameras are on, you have to be that guy. You have to be that role model. You just do. You think LeBron wants to do it? No. But he knows. He knows you have to do it. So, Ja, please do it, dude. And please take me from like 60% to like 90%, bro. Because I'm honestly worried you're gonna do it again. I'm honestly worried, dude. It's like a 40% chance. Take me down all the way to 10%, dude. Like, show the fans, because that's what I am, a fan. Show the fans that you're serious about this. You mean business, bro. Your championship window will end, bro. You will ruin this championship window. You're realistically in a championship window. The NBA is for the taking, bro. You could go to Denver and be the biggest factor in upsetting the defending champions. You could do that. But you worried about outside stuff, bro. And it's too much time. Too much time on this guy. Like I said, just take me from 40% down to like 10%. Hopefully. But I am a little worried. And I mean, NBA, right now, we're almost at the halfway mark for the NBA. The All-Star game's the halfway point. So let me just go All-Star starters. Honestly, I'm amazing at transitions. LeBron gets in. Steph gets in. West Coast, we'll go West. Anthony Edwards might be a starter. Deservingly, but this isn't, the starters is kind of rigged. I'll be honest. I'll raise my hand. In the NBA, All-Star starters is rigged. It just is. It's all for ratings. And maybe they should change the format to like who realistically, stats wise deserves to be it. But we're going to go Steph, Bron, Jokic, Kevin, and probably Anthony Edwards. I think that's my starting five. or like gets voted in and everything. I think Edwards, Edwards, surprisingly though, is getting good at like his shoes sold out. That's big. A lot of these dudes got shoes. I don't see those Devin Booker shoes selling out. Maybe the shattered backboards, but most of them aren't gonna get sold out. Anthony Edwards shoes got sold out. That means a lot, for real. So I'm gonna go Steph, Anthony Edwards, Bron, Kevin, and Jokic. Reserves, I mean, people that deserve it. D Book gets in. Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis might be a starter. It's between Anthony Davis and Kevin. I wouldn't be surprised either way, but both get in. Cat, Jamal Murray, maybe. Steph's gonna be alone though, for sure. There's no other warrior there. Never mind. Good thing I'm running through this. I mean, like I said, this is all from the Heart Boys, no notes. Luka. See, that's gonna be the tough out. I think LeBron gets in over KD and AD. Obviously, he's gonna get voted in. The highest one. Luka, Steph, Jokic. Jokic deserves a start. If Jokic is a reserve, then for sure the format needs to be changed. Okay, let's say that right now. Petition. I will make a petition. My first. I don't even know. What the process is to start a petition. But if Jokic is in a NBA, All-Star starter this year, petition. That's a petition one. Where it's like, okay, enough. I get it, dude. NBA, you want to involve the fans, but enough's enough. Jokic, Bron, Luka, Steph. And personally, Edwards gets the nod over A. Disney and KD, but it's probably going to be KD. Just like I said, this is completely scripted. Moving on to the East. Giannis, Tatum. Damn, the East is trash. Embiid, Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey is there. The West is Anthony Edwards, where like he might get in just because like he deserves to get in, but he, like I said, this is scripted. I'm forgetting someone. I'm forgetting a big one. So okay, we got Tatum, Embiid. Who's the big one I'm forgetting? Jalen Brunson? Jalen Brunson probably gets in over Maxey. No. I mean, I think Maxey is going to get in. Maxey's going to be a starting all-star. I mean, I get it. Like, most improved was like a big expectation. And honestly, Dame might get in because of popularity. But Maxey, like I said, Maxey deserves this. And I think we definitely got the over on, like I said, probably like at 65. Just cleared the over. I'm forgetting a big one, dude. I mean, the people down in South Beach, the Magic. I think no Bam, no Jimmy. They'll be reserves. The reserves, Magic, maybe like Paolo will be a reserve. The Nets player, maybe Bridges gets in as a reserve. Jalen Brunson's probably going to be a reserve. Spidey, Garland. Maybe not even Garland. Spidey gets in for sure as a reserve. No Bulls are going to be at the All-Star game this year, unfortunately. There it is. I finally, it finally hit me. It finally came home. Cemented, solidified starter. Last year went from not even being a starter. Let me slow down a little. Last year went from being a fake all-star to this year being a cemented, certified all-star. Tyrese Halliburton. Okay, so that's the lineup. Tyrese, the double. I think they're gonna go double Tyrese. Tatum, Embiid, Giannis. That's what it should be. Double Tyrese, Tatum, Embiid, Giannis. Those are my predictions. So that's the East. Double Tyrese, or maybe Jaylen Brown gets in over Maxey, but Maxey deserves it. But I would go double Tyrese, Tatum, Giannis, Embiid, Jokic, Bron, Edwards, Steph, Luka. Those are my 10 All-Star starters. And from like, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna touch, playoff predictions. It's just too soon. But like I said, the NBA is a fun watch. Oh my God, Shea Gilgeous. And honestly, that West is so loaded where it is hard to see, like, from a starting, like, deserving standpoint. LeBron, toughest out I've ever, like, toughest out probably in All Star history, where like to not be a starter is LeBron. Deserves to be an All Star, yeah, like, but doesn't deserve to be the starter All Star. I'll be honest about that one. I mean, a little tough to admit, but yeah, LeBron doesn't deserve to be the All Star. Shea, not even Steph though. I would put Shea over Steph, but Steph's gonna get popular. Steph's popular with the kids, so he's gonna get in there, like I said. But yeah, deserving All Stars: Shea, Luka, Anthony Edwards, and I think even Jokic for sure. And that one's all right there between Cat, LeBron, A. Disney, Kevin, Claw, PG. Booker doesn't deserve to get in. I mean, he's been, hurt most of the year, so that's, that's a thing. Chet Holmgren might be a reserve. Which is insane, especially in that loaded West. But no, yeah, going through this board, honestly, All Star Weekend is gonna be challenging. Unfortunately, there's always like a guy or two that misses due to injury, but that West is loaded. Like, someone's gonna be snubbed All Star again, and they're gonna be upset about it. Like, rightfully so. That's happening for sure. But like I said, me and the boys are gonna talk a little bit of football, so I'm gonna hold that one back. My big thing is I gotta, keep up the soccer grind, for all my soccer people, because the boys don't want to talk about soccer, but I got us. Don't worry. And that's gonna do 0 subs for today. So I'll talk to you guys next time, and I'm gonna be better this year as far as consistency. Consistency. That's a hard word. It's hard to come off. It comes off the tongue a little weird. But anyways, peace out, gang.